Right, so a quick background. As many people will know from following me on the Dr. Cymraeg account, I am a learner of Welsh. I suppose I can still hail to that tag, I suppose. I have learnt the language later in life. I'd like to think I'm pretty fluent now, depends on how many pints of Guinness I've had, I suppose, but I like to think I'm fluent. Um, and my wife, who is a fluent native Welsh speaker, who was brought up school, home, friendship groups, everything through the medium of Welsh. Um, she now definitely helps me with my Welsh, and I've improved that way since gaining my degree. And we had a little boy, coming up to 15 months ago now, and he's just brilliant. And it's been amazing, not just to be a dad, but also to see how he has grown up with the Welsh language, something I never had. And I suppose it goes deeper than nursery rhymes and things like that, which Mam will sing to him now and again. These are nursery rhymes that I had never encountered growing up, clearly. Um, but yeah, it goes deeper because I think sometimes I think about the things that my wife will say to Bedwyr, that's the boy, and I think these are phrases that um, had I uh, had I brought up a son or a daughter, or without any sort of without anyone like my wife to use her native language with him, had I have done it off my own back, I don't think that any level of the Welsh language that I'd acquired, be that through university or socially or anything like that, I don't think any of that would have helped at all. I think of some of the phrases that we use with Bedouin now, and I think I, they're totally new to me now, even at 33 years of age, having admitted that I'm fluent for about 15 years of my life. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd uh, share a few phrases after this was supposed to be short background, but it's turned out to be nearly 3 minutes long. I thought I'd share a few phrases that my wife uses and now I use with my boys, so that if you don't have that sort of background or in your family of Welsh speaking, hopefully then some of these phrases will be there to help you in your quest to have your little one speaking Welsh. So the kind of differences that I mean are there are things like that I would say to him that I would want to form in quite a formal manner. And then I'll hear my wife saying the same thing, and it's very informal, and it's not even stuff that I would think to create with regards to sentences. There's some here that are pretty common, but here I've made a collection of phrases that I use a lot with my son. Like I say, learners will probably recognise a few. There's some there that are just wow, where did that come from? So hopefully they help. So I'm just going to get straight into it. The main one I'm using these days is Sbïa. Now that comes from, well, it doesn't come from, it's not cognitive, but edrych is to look. Sbïa actually comes from to spy at something, but it's used quite often now in instead of edrych, really. So instead of saying edrych ar hwnna, look at that, someone might say Sbïa hwnna. And the ar itself is sort of molded into the Sbïa. Sbïa hwnna, look at that. It's quite a common one these days. So if I'm trying to point something out to him and teach him some new words, I'll say, oh, Bedwyr, Sbïa hwnna. Have a look at that. To stay on the path of hwnna, meaning that, I'm finding myself saying quite a lot, Bedi hwnna. Now, obviously, if I had only had even degree level Welsh, I would have, expressed that as beth ydy or beth yw hynny. But a very common phrase that we're using these days is bedi hwnna. So it's a very shortened form. Bedi hwnna, what's that? What's that? Oh, bedi hwnna, Bedwyr. What's this? What's that? Which is a nice one. Again, going through the bear, the what? Beti neud. What are you doing? So again, beth wyt ti'n ei wneud would be if I was going to use my university level Welsh. But beti neud, nice and quick, nice and snappy. Beti neud yna, what are you doing there? Beti neud rŵan, or beti Bet ti'n neud nawr in the south as well. Bet ti'n neud hwnna? What are you doing there? Bet ti'n neud rŵan? What are you doing now? Just little light-hearted, cheeky little phrases I'll say to him. A nice one is tisha. Now again, wyt ti eisiau, or if you want to go even further, wyt ti moyn in the south. A oes eisiau arnat, if you want to go down university level Welsh. Is there a want upon you for something? But tisha is nice and quick. Ti moyn in the south. Tisha, do you want? So I might say, tisha darllen. Do you want to read? Tisha bwyd, or some food, just so he recognises those words really. Tisha chware. Do you want to play? I've got some toys out. Bedwyr, tisha chware. It's a nice one. If I'm offering him something in particular, I've got something in my hand. Tisha hwn. Do you want this? Tisha hwn. Or what's becoming more likely when he's having some bwyd is tisha mwy. Do you want some more? Tisha mwy is a nice one that's been really cool to use. So tisha is a nice one. So one that it was sort of, I know babies take things on differently at different times, but one of the first phrases that Bedwyr became accustomed to was lle mai. So where is? He's got this little sheep toy, and one of the first words he learned to recognise was dafad, sheep. We've now said it so much that if we say the word dafad in our daily speech, he will go and find it. So we now have to say sheep in English these days. So he doesn't recognise what it is. But lle ma dafad, Bedwyr? Lle ma dafad? And he'll go off and find it, which is cool. So lle ma'r, he's also obsessed with lights these days. He knows the word golau. So lle ma golau? Lle ma golau, Bedwyr? And he does this little point to the roof, which is really cute. But lle ma is a nice one that you can point to, and you can use your knowledge of maybe just basic nouns. I don't know what it means. Lle ma teddy? Where's the teddy? Lle ma llyfr? Where's the book? In the south, you probably hear ble mai rather than lle mai, but again, it doesn't matter. Another one that's sort of linked up with tisha and then a noun or a verb after that was amser. So time, or if you want to use it with another word, it's time for. So amser gwisgo, time to get dressed. Amser bwyd, food time or time for food. A few more. Amser bath, bath time. Amser bath rŵan. It's bath time now. So again, I'm not making full sentences. Mae hi'n amser bath rŵan. Amser bath rŵan. Nice little snappy things. Amser cysgu is what we'll say every night before a nos da. So amser cysgu rŵan, Bedwyr, nos da. It's a nice little way to end the day. In the unlikely event that he does not wake up before us, yeah, that happens very often. But on the unlikely event that he doesn't, I might just go and see him while he's asleep and he needs to get ready for nursery or something. Amser deffro, Bedwyr, deffro to wake up. Amser deffro rŵan. It's quite a nice little way of waking him up. Amser neud, time to change. That might just be clothing, or more often than not, his nappy, clut. So amser neud rŵan, Bedwyr, time to change now. And that's a really nice one as well. If he's doing things we'd rather he didn't do, like going towards things in his crawling state and in his sort of wobbly standing state, pied is a good one. It's not heavy. It's not a don't do that. It's pied. It's quite a light-hearted thing. So you can do anything you want with that. Na pied mynd yna, don't go there. Or I know cyffwrdd is to touch, but toucho, I touch hwnna, don't touch that. Is a nice one as well. Again, instead of pied, you could say stopia. So again, I'm taking stopia and I'm making it the imperative. Stopia hwnna, stop doing that. I can't think of any time I'd probably use stopia, but I think I probably have at some point. But pied is a nice one. Again, another one that definitely was never taught to me is from gadael, to leave, but it can also be to let. So you might hear some people in maybe using English, but with a Welsh background, they might say, leave that be or leave it go, rather than let it be or let it go. So gadael is used for that in Welsh, and one of the quick imperative ways is just gad. Gad o fynd, let it go, or leave it go. Gad o fod, let it be. It's quite a common one I'm using. So if he's picked something up, I'd rather he didn't gada fynd bedwyr, gada fod, let it be, let it go, is another common one. These days, as he moves around a lot more, just the phrase, well, say phrase, just the word gofalus. So again, I would probably want to have said that as bydd yn ofalus, be careful. But gofalus is just what my wife is saying these days, just careful now, gofalus rŵan is so that's yeah, I like that one. If he's holding something that he perhaps shouldn't have, or if he's holding anything, beth gen ti? So that comes from geni. So again, I would have expressed that as beth sydd gen ti or beth sydd gennyt ti in the long form. These are just words and phrases that just aren't used with babies these days when they're brought up in a Welsh-speaking home. So shorten down beth sydd gen ti or beth sydd gyn ti, I suppose, if I'm using my fluency Welsh. Beth sydd gen ti hwnna? What have you got there? Beth sydd gen ti? Yeah, that's a nice little way I can get my fluency Welsh in as well. Beth sydd gen ti hwnna? What have you got there? Some of the ones you've probably heard in school that I'm definitely using with the little boy. Da iawn. Oh, da iawn bedwyr. If he's done something nice and he loves clapping and he loves clapping himself, and obviously then the baby claps, you damn well better clap with him. So, oh, da iawn, clap, clap, and then he's in. Wedi gorffen, we're using a lot with food. So, wedi gorffen rŵan. Again, I might have said that in a full sentence as a learner. Mae'r bwyd wedi gorffen. He doesn't need that. Wedi gorffen, finished. So gorffen is to finish. Wedi puts it into the perfect. Or the past participle. I don't do grammar. Wedi gorffen, finished. So we like to show him that once he's had his porridge or something like that that's in a bowl. We'll say wedi gorffen rŵan, so he knows it's done. He's not to expect any more. You probably heard the phrase beth sy'n bod. What's being, what's the matter, essentially. But you'll hear a lot of people, even when they're not speaking with babies, will drop the board off. Beth sy? It's a nice little way. What's up? What's going on? Oh, beth sy bedwyr? What's the matter? What's up? Beth sy? And that's one my wife is using a lot, so I picked that one up through her, definitely. And yeah, one of my favourite ones is doing caru T. Again, if you'd learned Welsh via the grammar route, you might have said something like rwy'n dy garu di or dwi'n dy garu di. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, but nice and snappy. Doing caru T. Again, he's not saying that back just yet, but it'll be a lovely moment when you eventually does. So those are just some of the phrases that sort of came to my mind, really, and I thought that one or two might help a few people. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to speak more Welsh with a child, but again, I'm doing the same with Irish at the moment. I'm trying to speak a bit of Irish when Mam's not around. It's a language that I learned, but again, I don't have access to this sort of language in Irish, so I'm saying more full sentences, and it doesn't seem as snappy as I want to be with a child. So it's disheartening a little bit, but maybe I'll find something similar on YouTube or somewhere else where somebody's done something similar, or it may well even push some Irish speakers to do a similar example. That'd be really lovely. But either way, I just felt like, especially when I try and speak Irish with him, I just feel like there's that short, snappy language that I miss, that I've now gained in the past in the past year and a little bit, really, and hopefully they help you too. There was a statistic that I saw that said around 47% of parents where at least one parent speaks Welsh pass on the language, and it struck me really that if Welsh medium education didn't exist, if you're taking a situation where either one or two parents have the ability to speak Welsh, over 50% are not passing that on. Now that's their prerogative. That's entirely up to them. Some people don't feel confident, blah, 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 blah. But if Welsh medium education and other ways of learning Welsh were not around, the language would die. If that percentage carried on, it would slowly dwindle. So if we're talking less than 50% of parents who have the ability to speak Welsh don't use it, like I said, Welsh medium education is a big factor in this. Then parents don't need to speak Welsh with their parents with their children, even if they can. Yeah, it was quite a stark thing. But what's lovely is hopefully these phrases might get people who maybe wouldn't quite class themselves as fluent just yet, who might just want to use a few of these phrases. So I'll just quickly run through them again then. So I started with Sbïa, look, Sbïa. Be 'di hwnna? What's that? Be 'di hwnna? Be ti'n neud? What are you doing? Be ti'n neud? I will put all these in the description, by the way. Tisio, do you want to? Tisio darllen? Do you want to read? Tisio bwyd? Do you want some food? Tisio chware? Do you want to play? Tisio hwn? Do you want this? Tisio hwn? Tisio mwy? Do you want some more? Do you want more? Tisio mwy? Paid. Paid, bedwyr. Na, paid. Stopio hwnna. Stop that. It's quite a little cool one to use. Gad, from gadael, to leave. Let it go. Gad a fynd. Let it go. I find myself, if he's going anywhere near the cat, who's actually wonderful with him, but the same love that he has for the cat is not reciprocated, unfortunately. So, gad iddi fynd. Let her go. Otherwise, she'll do what she does to me if I annoy her. Thankfully, she doesn't do that with the baby, which is really cool. So, gad o fynd, let it go. Gad o fod, let it be. Amser gwisgo, time to get dressed. Amser bwyd, time for food. Amser bath, amser cysgu. Amser deffro, time to wake up. Amser newid, time to change. Gofalus, careful. So if he's off on the run, like I say, gofalus rŵan, careful now. Be sy gen ti? What have you got? Be sy gen ti yna? What have you got there? I feel like I'm talking to him now. Be sy gen ti? What have you got? Be sy? Be sy'n bod? He maybe has a bit of a cry. Oh, be sy, bedwyr? What's the matter? Be sy? Da iawn, loves that one. You can chuck that in anywhere, even if you're not confident with your Welsh. Da iawn. Wedi gorffen? Finish now, wedi gorffen? If we've closed the book or we've finished our food, wedi gorffen? And finally, that old beauty, doing carry tea. So, like I say, massively long-winded. I could have just put this in a post on a blog somewhere, but I want you to hear the language, and hopefully these will eventually be about 18 minutes. Might help you a little bit in the language you're using. So yeah, there we go. Diolch. Yeah, how do I end these videos? I don't know. Look at the description. And siarad Cymraeg efo plant. That's how we end it. There's a stop button.